for the devil.
Amen.
You know, if you take and go into that restaurant and you order that food, you have your eggs or whatever covered, smothered, and scattered. That's scrambled. Is your life scrambled? Is your life scrambled? If your life is scrambled, you need to get a hold to the Spirit. Get your life in line with the Spirit. Quit swinging from sin to sin to sin, from rope to rope, like a porch monkey in a tree. Be a monkey for the Lord. Swing on His fruits of the Spirit. The fruit of the Spirit is love. Do you love everybody that you come in contact with? Do you love to talk to the Lord about His salvation to the people? Are you gentle? Do you do it with meekness? Do you do it with temperance? Or do you have a temper? If somebody tells you that something that you don't agree with, does it make you mad? Does it make you mad? Every man is right in his own eyes. Regardless if he be wrong, he sees it right. Who are you to judge? Pray for that person. Pray for that person. Swing on them fruits of the Spirit. Show that there person the fruits of His Spirit. And He will take and start swinging hope on that fruit of the Spirit instead of the lust of the world. Them ropes, they're nothing to swing on. They're nothing to play with. That's over there in the book of Galatians, chapter 5. We fix to turn to it. You know, I'm going to take and hope that I can turn to my marker. I think may have come out of my Bible, but that's okay. I'll get to it in just a minute. As soon as I get there, I'll read it. And I might even have Brother Josh come up here and read it. I don't know. Yeah, here it is. I just didn't have it pulled up in my Bible far enough. But, you know, the Bible's telling us to walk in the Spirit. To walk in the Spirit of the Lord. Not in the spirit of the world, because the world is in trouble. Do you want to be in trouble? Do you want to be in trouble by walking in the spirit of the world? You will be in trouble. The first kind of trouble you're going to have is trouble from the Lord. The second kind of trouble you're going to have is you're out there having all kinds of fun. Swinging from rope to rope. Swinging from sin to sin. Swinging from tree to tree. What are you gonna do if that there tree or that rope breaks with you? You're gonna go down. And when you go down, you're gonna fall. Then you're gonna be in great trouble. Because you're not acknowledging the Lord. You're having too much fun doing what you got to do, or what you think you got to do, or what you're having fun doing. You're going to be in some great trouble. And that there great trouble, there's a great price to pay. For the wages of sin is death, and after this is the judgment. How are you going to stand before the Lord and be judged? Are you going to be judged for swinging on them rope of the lust of the world? That's going to be a payday that you don't want to get. People say, well, I don't have to worry about having to give an account for everything that I say to do because I got salvation. I'm here to tell you, my friend, and if you got that in your life and in your spirit, and you feel that way about God's Word, why does it tell you over there in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10, that it says that every man shall give an account for everything that he's ever done? Whether it be good or whether it be bad, and then whenever you take a stand before God and He breaks some books open and He reads from His books what you have said, what you have done, places you've gone, and the things that, all that, the things that you've done, that there record book that the Lord keeps up there, He got records of everything everybody has ever done. He's probably got pages and pages and pages of stuff on me. Does he have pages and pages and pages of stuff on you? Or where you have took and swung from cart rope to cart rope, from sin to sin, and gathered all of them together and still swinging on them? Or are you going to be swinging on them when you die? Or are you going to be swinging on them when you die? Or are you going to be holding on to the fruits of the Spirit? Love, joy, long suffering. That's putting up with. Gentleness, kindness, temperance. That's just to name a few of the 9. I believe it's 9 of the fruits of the Spirit. But we're going to read them too. We're going to give them to y'all. Over here in chapter 5, where it's talking about the fruits of the Spirit. That's at the end of the chapter, but the fruit of the world, the fruit of lust. I may just get Brother Josh to come up here and read this. And it starts over here, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to back up. We are going to back up to the verse of we're going to go all the way up to verse 11 and read down to the where it's talking about the fruits of the Spirit. But we're going to cover the fruits of the world, the the lust of the world. We're going to cover that first. And then we're going to go over in there and start covering the fruits of the Spirit. Well, you may say, well, preacher, it doesn't say it's fruits of the world, fruits of lust. Do your research. Do your research. What fruit do you bear? Do you bear good fruit or evil fruit? Do you bear the word of the Lord, or do you bear the work of Satan, the word of Satan, the work of the world, the work of sin? Come on up, Brother Josh, read that. And see what the Lord, thus saith the Lord God, has to say about everything. We're going to take and let the Lord just have His way here. And He's going to take and have great authority.
Let's start at verse 11.
Go ahead, brother.
And I, brethren, if I yet preach circumcision, why do I yet suffer persecution? Then is the offense of the cross ceased. I would they were even cut off, which trouble you. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed of one another.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. You know, if you talk bad about your brother, do you love your brother? That goes right along with the fruits of the Spirit. Do you love your brethren? Brother Josh, I tell you what. We have got to get in the center of God and quit swinging from rope to rope, from sin to sin, and get on God, on Christ. We have got to be centered on Him. And once we get centered on Him, then we have full focus of Him. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on them little ropes you got hanging down that's got adultery here, lying yonder, abomination, lust, lasciviousness? Have you got them ropes hanging down in front of you, jumping from one to the other and going here and yonder to and fro? You need to take him. Get away from them ropes. Get away from them ropes. Because them ropes are going to bring you down. Go ahead. Keep on reading, brother.
This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Now, okay, there you go. It says, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of this flesh. Lord have mercy, if the people would just turn loose of them ropes of sin and turn loose of them cart ropes, then start walking in the Spirit and to live in the Spirit and dwell in the Spirit, then they would take and be set free of them ropes. Because if that Spirit is going to have to break them ropes. And once that Spirit sets you free from them ropes, don't go back to them ropes. Don't go back to them sins. Don't go back out into the world and start doing this, that, and the other, because you will take and fall. You'll fall from grace. You'll take and get out there, and before you know it, you'll be knee deep in sin, and then you'll be waist deep, and then you're going to be head deep. And then you're going to take and say, Lord, what am I doing out here? Is the Lord going to hear and answer you? Or is He just going to let you go on out there and drown in sin? Is He going to turn you over to that reprobate mind to destroy the body and able to save the soul of man? Is He going to do that? To you? To me? I wouldn't want Him to do that to me. Because if He turns His back, He's got His ears turned away from you. He's got His eyes turned away from you. And just being away from my Maker, my Creator, is scaring me to death. I wouldn't want to be that way. I want to be as close to Him as I can be. Do you want to be close to Him as you can be? Brother Josh? You know, if we take and start walking in the Spirit, living in the Spirit, dwelling in the Spirit, talking in the Spirit, praying in the Spirit, we get all that. We're centered in the Lord. What are you centered on? Are you centered on the world? Are you centered on the Lord? If you're going to be centered on the world, you cannot be centered on the Lord at the same time. You cannot straddle the fence and serve mammon and God. You're going to love one and hate the other, or despise one and hold to the other. One of the two. Which one are you going to hold on to? Are you going to hold on to the Lord, or are you going to hold on to that there singing out there? Are you going to hold on to that there rope? Or are you going to go out there and do that sin and forget about the Lord? Do you want the Lord to forget about you? Do you want the Lord to take and turn His deaf ear to you when you cry unto Him to hear you? And He turns your head, that ear to away from you, and He does not hear you? And He lets you go on out there and get in trouble? Get up your head, and then you get out there and you drown in sin. That rope that you're hanging on is taking you down. Read on some more, brother.
For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law.
Praise God.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
See? What did I tell you? Do you go and swing on those ropes? Do you have that rope of adultery, fornication, lasciviousness, as I call it? Which one of those ropes do you have pleasure in doing? Which one of them ropes are fun to do? The wages of sin is death. And after this cometh the judgment. It's right there in the Word. Those that perform such acts, such duties, such thinkings of the mind shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven, because that is sin. People say, well, preacher, what are you talking about the mind, about the thoughts? Well, go back and read Isaiah 65:2, brother. Flip over there, read it for me real quick. Isaiah 65:2. It talks about the mind, the thoughts. Lord have mercy. Just even thinking about them there acts of Galatians chapter 5, the lust of the world, just by thinking about them, you can get yourself in trouble.
Isaiah 65:2. I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts.
After their own thoughts, that they have walked and they have followed and they have said and they have done and they have acted in their own little sweet way. Why not walk in the way of the Spirit? And then you won't have to give an account for them there lust of the world. If you're going to lust after anything, lust after the Spirit of God, and He will take and fill you with joy. He will let you know that there is nothing compared to Him. Nothing. Not even your wife, not even your children. It's good to have a wife and children, but they don't even compare to Him. They don't. What do you desire in life? Do you desire to follow the Lord wholeheartedly, not half-heartedly, not just sometimes, or every once in a while, or even better yet, when you feel like it? Do you feel like living for the Lord today, or do you feel like living for Satan today? That's just the way the Christians have got. They want to swing on them ropes because they're having so much fun swinging from tree to tree, from sin to sin. And then they get out there and they do that. Well, you heard out of the Word where Brother Josh read the things of this world. And those that perform the acts, that does the acts, that thinks the acts according to His Word, they are not going to make it. They are not going to make it. And if it even be possible, they got their Word right there as a spot in their garment. If it be possible, that spot might be trotted out under the foot of angels on the Lord's day in the wine press. Which that's going to take a lot of stomping, a lot of cleansing, but you know, if that spot is still there when everything is said and done, I'm sorry. You're not made perfect. And you're not going to be able to go to the kingdom of heaven because it's there in the Word. It's there in His Word. You're not going to be set to enter in the streets and of that city called Jerusalem. You're not going to go. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's what thus saith the Lord. And that's not my words, that's not nobody else's word, that's not even Joshua's word. He's just reading from the Word. Brother, just read on about the fruits of the Spirit.
Now go over to Galatians verse 22. Galatians 5 verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Praise God.
And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the afflictions or the affections and lusts.
Are you crucifying your flesh? To live and walk and talk and dwell in the Spirit? Are you doing that? Or are you crucifying the Lord to swing from sin to sin? Which one do you crucify the most? Which one do you hold on to the most? Do you hold on to the Word of the fruits of the Spirit? Or do you hold on to the word of lust of this world? That is the fruits. What kind of fruit do you bear? A good tree does not bring forth evil fruit, and an evil tree does not bring forth good fruit. What kind of fruit do you bring? Do you bring blessings or curses? There is no in between. Either you're blessed or you curse. You speak blessings or you speak curses. You do one or the other. You don't do half and half. You can't live a half godly life and a half Satan life and expect to receive the blessings of the Lord. You cannot. I don't care what way or how you want to ice it or cut it or eat it. Taste of the Spirit. It's delicious. That's over there in the book of Psalms. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Have you tasted His Spirit? Have you tasted His fruits of the Spirit? Or have you tasted the fruit of the world, the fruit of Satan, the fruit of lust, lying, adultery, fornication? Oh, Lord. I could just go on and on and on. But you know, how are you going? Are you going on and on for the Lord? Or are you going on and on for the devil? Are you living your life to please the Lord? Or are you living your life to please Satan? How do you live your life?